What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what the news is saying about Tesla, what's going on with the data that's coming out very soon, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But firstly, let me say that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. So the question is, what's going on with the markets? What's going on with Tesla? And the answer is quite simple. We're seeing some weakness on Apple. We're seeing weakness on SPY and the QQQ. The market's weakening a bit as of right now, but Tesla is gaining some strength relative to the market, and Tesla is showing signs of not just basing at these levels, but more upside potential as time goes on and as we get closer to the Cybertruck delivery event. So I'm going to be breaking down Tesla in just a few minutes. Let's first go over some news and things like this. So I just want to remind you all that for the whole market, we have new home sales coming out at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10:30 a.m., we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. Then we have a couple more pieces of data involving the bill auctions around 11:30 to 1 p.m. That data shouldn't be that crazy. And once again, the data is going to be kind of light for Monday and Tuesday, and things become more heavy, more important and significant, I would say between Wednesday and Friday. So just keep that in your mind. Don't forget Jerome Powell is giving a speech on Friday. Uh, Moving forward about how the market is looking in terms of news, thus far, November has been very strong for the markets. This November is likely going to be a strong month, anyways, as we're approaching the end. But we'll see how it goes to cool off or like to maybe end of the month. We'll be watching them very carefully. Today is Cyber Monday, so have fun with your shopping if you are doing anything like that. And we're starting to see some statistics that are suggesting, that e-commerce spending has basically climbed like 7.5% year over year. That is good news for stocks like Shopify out there, even like the Amazons out there. Moving forward, we're starting to see the Hunger Games numbers coming out, drawing an estimate of about $42 million, which is not bad thus far. We will see how it goes as well. Besides that, we're also seeing ByteDance cutting gaming jobs. This is something that's common during times like these. They're not shutting down the business completely, but they're slashing hundreds of jobs thus far. So, once again, nothing out of the ordinary in this economy. Let's talk about Tesla. How is Tesla looking? The Cybertruck in showrooms is attracting large crowds. That's great news thus far. We're starting to see more excitement, more hype for the launch event, which is going to be happening very soon. Investors and executives out there are giving more details about the deliveries to be coming. We're continuing to see the Cybertruck making its way into the showrooms. Now, this is once again attracting more and more attention for Tesla and more potential buyers to be stepping in when it comes to the share price. We're seeing this right here. I saw some very interesting news about the event. I just want to clarify something. So according to this, the Cybertruck delivery event is not going to be happening in the evening. It's not going to be happening late at night. It's going to be happening at 1 p.m. Central Time, which is like 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be happening a little bit early on. It's not going to be too late on Thursday. So this coming Thursday, that's when we have the Cybertruck event, 1 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. Make sure you guys are aware of that. It's going to be happening possibly during like market open. That's going to be important. We'll be watching to see what this causes. And thus far, there have been a lot of like very, very good pieces of news, lots of hype, lots of excitement. Some executives are saying that 10 plus Cybertrucks should be delivered, maybe more. We'll be watching that as well. And there's also this news right here that Tesla's suing Sweden over the blocked license plates in Business Daily DI reports. They filed a lawsuit against the Swedish government's transport agency over the workers' strike that blocked the U.S. automakers' requests. This is some important news. We will see how this develops thus far, but Tesla's starting to show signs that it's retaliating thus far. But anyways, now let's just talk about the share price. That's enough about the news. If anything, looking at Tesla, I just want to call out that we have this support trend line right here, and Tesla's now starting to respect an uptrend. We have this imbalance at 242, and this is going to act as a magnet, push Tesla up as time goes on. But in order for us to push up higher, we have this resistance at this 238.5 area. Tesla breaks this. I'm going to be anticipating for some more upside. I definitely think that there's potential for it to do so. I also want to call out on Tesla that from a technical standpoint, it looks quite good because when you look at the 4-hour time frame, right, we have our 200 EMA and the 50 EMA acting as supports, and these have been holding thus far, which is a good sign of strength. It's kind of like ping-ponging off these supports. Like it touched it here, here, it's just ping-ponging. And that's some good news for Tesla. So with this setup right here in this 4-hour imbalance, I think that this is going to try to push Tesla up higher. But there is one issue for Tesla. Okay. And the issue is the overall market's looking a bit weaker, and this could kind of slow things down for Tesla a bit. That doesn't mean it's going to sink. It just means that Tesla could have pumped much harder, much quicker if the whole market was pumping. But because the market is slowing down, it's kind of like anchoring Tesla and slowing it down a bit. But I still think that Tesla has potential to pump, and I think that we're going to eventually get up to at least 242 soon. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for Tesla. If you're bearish, you want to see this thing lose 235. If that fails, let's watch 232, and 230 is going to be where we have key support. My good tells me that's uptrending right now, and Tesla's going to outperform the markets. I think that it's going to be testing 238. If we break it, we could see it just try to push slowly up to the 240s. I think that there's a good chance of that happening, but I just want to warn you that the market is acting as that anchor. You have to be watching these other stocks just for additional information. So on SPY, I just want to call out that we have a potential head and shoulders like pattern. And if you consider that, Nvidia is not looking the strongest, QQQ is looking weak, so is Apple. That could act as something that slows down SPY. So on SPY, we have a very important support at 453.77. That is going to be where our 20 EMA is at the 4-hour time frame. If we lose that, I anticipate it's going to start sinking closer to 452, and that's going to be our support for the day thus far. I just want to call out on SPY that we have a gap, right? We have a gap that's above. We could see this thing pop and drop if the pop hasn't completed already, but it doesn't look like it's going to get like as big of a pop now. It could make one attempt to try to fill this gap at like 455.26 and then reject, or it could just reject from here. That's the most probable move from what I'm seeing. And we're going to be watching 452 as critical support, not to mention 453.77. The 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame is support. In the 453s, then we have 452 next. If you want to be bearish, you want to see it lose the green trend line, the green EMA right over here. We lose that, we turn bearish. And if we lose 452, we turn even more bearish. Okay, so I want to warn you about that. We are looking a bit more bearish thus far. We could get a back to try to fill this gap and then reject, or just reject from here. We're showing signs of potentially starting to break out of this rising wedge. So it looks a bit more bearish, but watch and see if we lose support for even more confirmation. Make sure you watch your levels. I think it's very important that I go over Apple right now, because I was talking about the quadruple bearish divergence on Apple yesterday. We're talking about some potential rejection signals. And it's worth noting because Apple has 189 as support, but we also happen to have this like blue trend line right here acting as resistance. You can see we touched it, rejected, touched it, rejected, touched it, rejected, touched it right here, rejected. 189 is going to be support. If we lose this, we're going to be likely heading back down to 188. And you can see it right here. 188 is going to be our 50 EMA. It looks like it's looking bearish off this divergence. It looks like it's about to change its market structure. We need to see it kind of like back test 190 if it hasn't already, and then reject. It could do that. So we could get like a back test of this trend line, then reject, or just reject from here. The move may have already happened during the pre-market where we touched like 190 then reject. Either way, it's starting to look more bearish. If you just look at this trend, and I think that this could slow SPY and the QQQ down. It's very important that I went over that. And once again, this could slow Tesla down a bit, but still think Tesla is going to outperform. The QQQ is barely at 388.5. If we lose this, we're going to be watching this come down to 388. Then we have two important levels I want to call out on the QQQ. So if we lose this support at 388, well, we have 389 and 388. I'm going to be watching 386.5. That's where we have these wicks in the support right here. If that fails us, watch the 50 EMA at 384.4. If that fails us, it's going to start sinking towards 380. It could get very close to 380. So those are two supports to be watching for before we come down to 380 potentially. But we want to be watching to see if we could hold above 388. If we lose that, we're going to start sinking lower. As of right now, we're looking a bit more bearish. It looks like it's going to start turning a bit. I also want to mention that SPY happens to have like a head and shoulders like pattern now on the 4-hour. So it's looking a bit more bearish, but watch for confirmation of the breaks on SPY and the QQQ. And then last but not least, I'm going to just go over Nvidia before I end this video. Nvidia is looking kind of weak. Don't forget, we have critical support at 468 to 470. If we lose 468, the next level is going to be the 4-hour 200 EMA all the way down to 460. Nvidia is continuing to downtrend. It's looking kind of weak. It made an attempt to bounce, but so far it's not looking the strongest. And with this weakness that's developing on the chart, this can have a big effect on SPY and etc. So from what I'm seeing on Nvidia, we could redraw this later. I didn't redraw this yet, but I might do that later. I just want to focus on levels. So we have resistance at 480, 482, and 485, and then 488. Those are three resistance levels. We were talking yesterday about a little pop on Nvidia before a potential rejection. Watch support right over here around this 474 area. That fails us. Watch 471.5, and 468 to 470 is going to be coming next. It's looking like it tried to break out. It failed at 480 and starting to sink a bit. If it loses 475, I expect it to start coming down towards 468 to 470. And if that breaks, we have 466, 465, and etc. It's looking a little weak right now. It's like really failing to break out. It's just continuing to reject. And this is going to slow down the QQQ especially. And this is very, very important. So just want to call that out, guys. Make sure you watch these levels on Nvidia. I know it's looking a little weak right now. Could try to pop again and then reject. As of right now, it's still looking weak and the market is still looking that way, especially SPY. But Tesla, of all things, is showing some strength. Tesla's green right now. We need to see Tesla break 238 to turn more bullish. I think it's going to happen in the future. Eventually, it's going to do that. But right now, the market's acting as an anchor, slowing Tesla down a bit. But Tesla still has strength and it's going to try to fight. So I think Tesla's going to try to kind of like chop around for a bit, range trade. That's what I was talking about yesterday, between support and resistance, 230 to 238. And then we could break out later on. There could be a breakout coming in the future, maybe today, maybe a little bit later. But I still think we're going to make our way back up to these higher levels. We just need a little bit more time on Tesla. All right, guys. So once your levels, do what you have to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again for listening and peace out.